Ladies and gentlemen, his voice has become an institution at this race. Here to perform, back home again in Indiana, it's our good friend, Mr. Jim Neighbors.
Back home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the dreaming candlelight still burning bright through the sycamores for me. The new mown hay sends out its fragrance through the fields I used to own. When I dream about the moonlight on the wabash, how I long for my Indiana home.
Welcome to round 4 of the Sunset Arctic Formula Indy Series. It's the Reddit IndyCar League race, or IndyCar Series, Indianapolis 400K from the world center of speed, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And yes, we are coming in with Delta Force. We got about 2 minutes left in qualifications. You're doing 4-lap average qualifications here, unlike some other leagues or even official iRacing leagues. You give you 4 laps and you did an average there. For most of the regular leagues, the official races, you get 2 laps and the best one gets you on the pole. This time you got to give it an average, and so far it's Liam Quinn with a 228.009 on top, followed by Caleb Bency at 227.947, and looking at P3 is Logan Paxa. That is a big surprise right there. He is a road course master, 227.867, lining up third. While we're waiting for qualifications to wind down, let's take a look at the point situation currently in the league. Leader, Caleb Bency. P2 is Andrew Wood. P. Gavin Sanders. Last week's 4, Christopher Hill. P5, Matt Houston, the boss man. P6 is Logan Paxa. P7 is Liam Quinn. P8, Dakota Ahmed. P9, Jeff Groff. And P10, Brian Kennedy. As you see, Brandon Dunn had 8 spots he gained, as well as Jeff Groff in the last race. The big loser was Matthew Casey and Julian Altena. Lost -6. I don't believe either one of them also participated in the race. So that's just by nature participant points. Kind of what happened there. About 42 seconds away. Let's get the starting lineup up here. We'll have a couple of guys that are not loaded up yet. Not sure what's going on there. Win, Bency, Paxa, Powers, DeMed, Sanders, Shane Coogan, Herman, Odell, and Fryer are your top 10. We're going to have actually 24 cars starting this race. It's going to be a nice sized field. We'll tell you more about the facility, more about what to expect here as we get into the race. as now getting ready to grid up. And let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Sunset Arctic Formula Indy Series, Reddit IndyCar Series, Indianapolis 400K. Starting on the pole is Liam Quinn with a 28.089, followed by P2 Caleb Bency 27.947, P3 Logan Paxa, P4 Rob Powers, 5 Dakota DeMed, and P6 Gavin Sanders. Starting 7th is Shane Coogan. Starting 8th, Hayden Herman. P9, Jacob Odell. P10, Jason Fryer. P11 is Christopher Hill. P12 is Matthew Casey. Cody Claiborne comes in 13th. Armando Edwards, P14. Christopher Kresge was at the top of the practice sheet there for a while at P15. Christian Jasper, P16. Ryan Kennedy is at P17. And Zachary Nurnberger, P18. Rounding out the field, we have Aaron Tribble, P19. Matt Houston will start 20th. Neil Lusher, 21st. Zachary Flaum, 22nd. Hayden Robinette, and 23rd. And Brandon Dunn, 24th. And that is your starting lineup. Sunset Arctic Formula Indy Series, Indianapolis, 400K. Down the backstretch, 5/8 of a mile backstretch. Each turn banked at 9 degrees. Short chute next each of the turns. Because Caleb Bency looks like he had an EOL from the last race, moved back, so that actually moved Rob Powers. So it's going to be Liam Quinn and Powers are going to basically starting side by side here. I just moved the outside row up. So 2 teammates now starting on the front row. They're coming to green. The field is under the control of Liam Quinn. And we are underway at Indianapolis. Green flag. They're starting to fan out big time in the back there. Going back to P6 to go to Med. Oh, and we are wadding up, coming to the back. We are back under caution. We are wadding up. We're just riding along with Hayden Herman. Not sure who that was. Cody Claiborne, I think, is one of the ones. Go back. What happens? No. Not quite sure. I think that might have been first lap getting loose. Can't see a little bit here, or did he get rear-ended? No, that is getting loose, and he took out another driver with him. That would be Aaron Tribble. Aaron Tribble's. Might have just been an innocent bystander here. The lineup behind Caleb going into turn 1. Ouch. That is not how you want to start your turn 1 of lap 1. Indianapolis. Let's get up to the front here with our leader, Liam Quinn. Got several cars in the back taking opportunity to probably top off tanks here. Zachary Flaum, Neil Lusher. Looks like they're going to top off their tanks here. Try to get a little bit deeper into this run. You're going to see really the race here is to can get closest to lap 70 for their last stop and be amongst the. That will pretty much get you in. Each stint for IndyCar is about 30 laps here in Indianapolis. So, but while we are under caution, talk about the Reddit IndyCar iRacing League. The Reddit IndyCar iRacing League was formed by active members of the IndyCar subreddit to the iRacing League. To be the iRacing League for real-life IndyCar fans, the RIL now has expanded to series based on a level of so whether you're a veteran or simply a diehard IndyCar fan who just got into sim racing, you will feel right at home in the Reddit IndyCar League. Reddit IndyCar iRacing League. A mouthful there. The series, the premier series races on Wednesday nights, starting, I believe, next week, and is broadcast on YouTube by Raceverse. More details, check out RIL.com. I will be covering Turbo Series, their secondary step up to Schaefer Cup, which is IndyCar Series. And that will be on Thursdays, starting 3rd. That will be also here on. So we are now a little bit of eye pacing going on. I believe we'll probably go green time by 1 to green. Caleb, narrowly, our points leader, narrowly missed that bit of a first turn incident. So I'm pretty sure what happened there, unless someone got in the back of Cody, these cars coming up to speed with this setup and with the tires not up to temperature and also the cars not up to speed because they're not producing all of the downforce they naturally can when they would come through at full speed. The cars are light, the back ends get loose, and you get through there and the car wants to twitch on you. Sometimes that might cause you to roll out of the throttle. Maybe the guy behind you taps you a little bit. I'm not sure if that car behind him, I believe it's Christopher Kresge. I do not know if he got into the back of him or not. I don't think he has, because he is not pitting. But the car will get a little light back there. So what you'll want to do is you want to set up with negative weight jacker at least through turns 1 and 2 to keep the car from have the car from fighting the want to come around through turns 1 and 2, and then kind of set your weight jacker down a little bit into more of a neutral state, good turns 3 and 4, and then at that point, then you can start setting your weight jacker to where you normally while you're in traffic. So we're getting ready to come green. It's Liam Quinn, Rob Powers, Gavin Sanders, and Jason Fryer, and the field is already at speed by Liam Quinn going into turn 1. Got to get your passing done early here with this particular setup and the way these cars handle. If you don't do it, you're going to be pretty much racing single file for the most part, waiting for the person in front of you to kind of make a mistake. Powers going to be inside, going to take advantage of his teammate's draft. He's going to get him into 3. Quinn fights for a little bit on the high side. The high side is open for business. If anybody wants to use it, it is great to run somebody down. It's also very good to defend. Didn't use it very well to defend there, but then again, it's very early, so it gets in behind your teammate and draft. Just pass across start-finish line. Quinn on the inside, going to take this one back. Powers leads that lap, but Quinn back in the lead going into turn 2. Logan Pasca taking a look on the inside of Jason Fryer. Not going to be able to pull it off. Right behind him, Dakota DeMed in that Texaco Star Sunset Arctic paint job there. Very well done. Tom's better known Tom Sneva drove that scheme, as well as Janet Guthrie. Janet Guthrie, of course, the first woman to ever qualify for the Indianapolis 500. Tom Sneva, the first man to ever 200 miles per hour at the Speedway, officially. And also your 1983 winner, and Fryer almost up into the wall. He is getting massive aero push, and that's probably going to slow him up. So, or Pasca's going to probably get a run on him here. Let's see if Pasca's going to get a run on him here going into turn 3. He takes a lower line, tries to take it to Finn. Here comes Pasca. Down low. There's that high line. He's fighting back. Whoa! They get side by side, wheel to wheel right there. Focus Pasca down low. He's going to have the position. Will Fryer concede this early on? I tell you what. Oh! Dakota DeMed is going to take it 3 wide. Nope. Pasca goes back in, and he's going to line up wisely. Dakota DeMed's going to try to drive her in deep, full send of the 1. No, not going to pull it off. This is the battle to watch right now on the racetrack, folks. This is a battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Paxa looking on that high line, getting a good look and a good run on Fryer, going into the short chute into 4, going down the main straight. Can he get that run? Doesn't look like he's close enough. He is still well within the draft, but I don't think he'll be able to suck up in time to pull off that slingshot before getting into 1. Top 3 are starting to pull away a little bit. Here's Gavin Sanders in the 2011 Dan Weldon themed livery. Is just tucking in to get some fuel mileage there as Powers and Quinn, the teammates, continue to swap the lead back and forth. Turn 4, down the main straight. Powers going to have this lap. Yellow, caution, caution, caution. And Christopher Kresge. Happened to him. Oh, he might have got collected in something else. Oh. Okay, so let's take a look at Christian Jasper. I think this happened a little bit further up ahead of Kresge. Kresge trying to avoid it, and he might have caught the grass and became a victim. Okay, so we got Hill and Jasper side by side in the turn 3. Let's pick this back up. Down the backstretch. Jasper has a position. Hill's not letting him go. Oh. Hill comes right down on him. Let's go ahead and get into the cockpit of Jasper, just to kind of see what I expect here, or what I suspect. There might have been a push up in. Make a little bit more room. Probably could have been given there. At 10 laps into the 500. Ooh. 10 laps into the 500 is a little bit early to want to be fighting that hard for position. Still have a couple pit stops to make. So pit stops have occurred. Dakota DeMed is on pit road. Regular fuel and tires topping off the tank. Now this will get him to 41 and now 71. So guess what? If this thing goes green, he is on schedule to make that last stop and not have to take a late splash. So this is working out very well for the race first crew. It's both of them. And even though we don't have teammates though, but there is kind of a race first crew. The Med, Houston, both stop there. That lines them up. If we go for a long green run, that lines them up to pit to make the final stop right at lap 70. And that's where they want to make that last stop, because they do not want to go past 70 and make any late splash and goes. That's going to cost them track position and a potential win. Back up to our leader, Rob Powers. Rocking the Van Halen Frankenstrat helmet there. Probably coming. Okay. Gavin Sanders has your fastest lap of the day, 41.095. And that is a 19.906 timing ticker. Miles per hour. Right now, 3 cars currently out. Robinette, Tribble, Claiborne. Dunn, Jasper, Hill, Kresge, they exercise their fast repair. They are back underway. First place is Rob Powers. Pete is Gavin Sanders. Jason Fryer was in hot pursuit by Paxa through most of that first run there. Almost hit the wall, managed to stay off it. Still hanging on the 4th place at the moment. Shane Coogan, 6. Got Matthew Casey, P7. Armando Edwards, P8. Zachary Nuremberger. And that Scott McLaughlin. You know, Scotty is racing the Pennzoil Yellow Submarine at Indy, but this is his regular IndyCar season. And Brian Kennedy in 10th. And this the one that he has with pictures of on it. Oh my gosh. That's not going to get you any extra TV time. Only if you win. Under power. Green flag. That better not be on Traded Paints. Rob Powers under power has the field under his command. Takes the green flag under the start finish over the yard of bricks into turn 1. Top 3 kind of starting to break away just a little bit already. I think Pasca's going to take a run at him here. No. Wynn does. Pasca down low, getting the pulling off the. Whoa! He was in the short chute side by side on that one through turns 4. He had the run, but couldn't quite pull it off. Gonna have to recover. Back up front. The teammates continue to swap the lead back and forth. Into turn 2. Quinn taking that high line around, right past the hospitality suites there in turn 2. That used to be the old corporate hospitality suite until they started the whole, basically the entire front stretch. Upper deck is pretty much all hospitality suites now. A lot of suites over the old Formula 1 lodges. Powers has a lead. Is he going to hold on, though, to get in at the yard of bricks? Whoa, too close to call right there. Ian Quinn's back in the lead. Powers back in the lead. I mean, this point is not helping me any. I'll tell you what, let's take a look at this battle right back here between Fryer and Paxa. he is taking a low line to defend. Paxa up high, manages to power around. He's side by side. He is going to pull it off in turn 4. Big move. Big move. Big move by Logan. Once again showing you the high line and how it's working. He is currently in 6th gear. He is maybe trying to save a little bit of fuel. Take a look at Shane Coogan. Shane is pulling up on the outside of Fryer in that race first car there, side by side, going into 3. Fryer's going to fight for it. Coogan's going to keep him. Whoa! Fryer tried to pin him down there to the line. That is legal. Side by side through 4, on the exit, side by side down the front straight. Going to get this one. Coogan still has a position. But what Coogan does not have is the 8 of the draft in front of him. Fryer is just enough of the draft of Paxa that he can manage to hold out and outpower Coogan there. Coogan's just going to line him back up. Got another run on him here. Fryer taking the defensive line down low. Coogan looking up high. Once again, are we going to pull it off on the high side? I think he is. Out of 3 into the short chute, side by side. Spotter says clear. He is now down low, and Coogan takes the position. That's 2 positions lost for Fryer, and now he has Matthew Casey stalking him. Let's go back up front. We got a pair of teammates, as we have Paxa and Gavin Sanders. Paxa is using that high line. You see the high line, you can run people down, you can also defend, and you can also go on offense. The high line here at Indianapolis, as I like to say, is open for business. Let's go back and take a look at the first of the cars that pitted. That is P12 with Dakota Nemed there. It is him and Matt Houston. They are almost... Dakota really is not in the draft of Hayden Herman. So he is on his own, probably in fuel conservation. Oh, caution, 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 caution. Hayden Herman, Hayden Herman. Oh! Oh! Oh my goodness, that... Oh. That Nuremberger getting to the wall and collect Herman, that looked like a lot of... without the flipping between that Scott Dixon had a couple years ago in the Indy 500 where I have to look up and see who that driver was. I should know it off the top of my head. But he was making his only Indy start that year, got up into the wall, came back down, and into the line of traffic and collected Scotty D. Scotty D went airborne and basically cut his car in half. Very similar there to what happened, and unfortunately Hayden Herman was the victim of that, and that happened right in front of those guys that just pitted. So now I think you're going to see those leaders probably make that turn the pit road. Sanders coming in, Logan coming in, Coogan coming in, Fryer coming in, Casey, Armando Edwards, Caleb Bency, all hitting. Here comes Dakota cycling to the top here. watching. Stops have been made. I want to say that they were in the cars then. I want to say maybe 17. 17. Yeah. Still in the cars. Jay Howard. That was it. Jay Howard in the oil car. Kind of smacked the wall in one, kind of came down. He kind of broke his suspension, came down, and then collected, only collected um, Scotty D. Scotty D are just ripped in half. Great thing is able to get up and walk away from it. I believe there was a photographer on the other side of the catch fence, on the inside of the import chute there, that got injured. Okay, and then of course Jay Howard. Okay, I don't think Jay. I don't. Maybe Jay Howard return the next year. I'm not quite sure, but I don't. I don't think he has. That might have been his last Indy 500. There was a lot of criticism for those that making a kind of an Indy start. Were they ready and prepared? And there might be some fact to that. I don't know, but you look at Jay Howard's resume; it's pretty deep as it is. So I don't think really much more fortunate. So what we're looking at right now is we're getting ready to go green. Rob Powers, Liam Quinn. They have not pitted yet. They are currently 21 laps on their current stint. They will need to pit here sometime in the next 10 to 15 laps, I'm sure. Maybe a little. Dakota DeMed, he is the first car to pit, starting at lap 11. He is currently 11 laps into his stint, along with his corporate pseudo teammate Matt Houston in P4. Phil Lusher moved up to 5. Gavin Sanders, 6. Shane Coogan, P7. Logan Paxa, P8. Matthew Casey, P9. And Caleb Bency moving up from the EOL to P10. Shot here from the fans just on the exit of the door. Camera shot from the yard of bricks. We're underway. Green flag. Starting lap 23. Now we're getting up to the quarter distance mark. Powers and Quinn. Quinn was using the high line. I'm wondering if maybe say they got some spotters that are calling this out, that they probably saw Logan back there using the high line. Both these guys are highly skilled drivers, so they probably don't need necessarily a spotter to say, hey man, check out the high line. I'm telling you, Dakota's probably in the good spot right here. He is just right in the draft, and he can fuel conserve. Heart content at this point, as the leaders are going to want to try to pull away, and stay right there in the draft envelope. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle for Liam Quinn coming off of 4. Oh, and we got Gavin Sanders coming into the pits. This is a penalty. Yeah, it looks like a penalty. Must have had a black flag. passing probably passing before the start finish line. We'll have to go back and take a look at that. Again, here are your leaders. Putting a lap on Gavin Sanders. Kind of let the action speak for itself here. Back and forth, back and forth. So really what we've been hearing with the way that these cars handle with the current tire model and the setup and the track, the first two cars, you guys can run and draft exactly like this to your heart's content. But that third car back there, a little less of an advantage to him. It will obviously be suffering from the aero wash. He won't be able to necessarily combat the drafting or the attack the drafting way that these are up there. But the fourth car is a really one that's getting hammered, as he is getting hammered by the massive aero wash of three cars in front of him. Wynn pulling off the pass in turn 3. Showing 15 cars currently in the race. Kennedy 2 laps down. Sanders now 1 lap down. Now, if Sanders can get back up to the front, and there's a caution, and first car behind the pace car, he will get the wave around. That is the only way that you get your lap back here in IndyCar racing. Otherwise, you earn it at speed on the track. There's no gimmicks. There's no lucky dogs. There's none of that stuff. You have to earn it back. And if you are the first car, be the pace car, and the leader under caution, you get the wave around. The pace car always picks up the leader. The leader always does the. You're looking at both of these teammates from talent. Great looking livery. Those colors work for me. Got a bit of a red gradient there and a purple gradient on the other one to kind of distinctly show a difference between the two. P3 is Dakota. It's hanging on there. Power's extending his lead a little bit. Not nearly as close as they were at the front, swapping the lead back and forth. Dakota to mid takes an aggressive look on the inside going to the 1. Not there. Quickly joining this party is Matt Houston. Go back a little bit further. Here's Neil Lusher. Dane Coogan, Logan Paxa, and Caleb Vinci. Logan Paspa is the meat in a race-first sandwich. Back up front again. Quinn getting a run on Rod Powers. Inside, pulls off the pass. Pass for the lead. I would imagine that these guys are coming up to a pit window here. They're in a pit window. Imagine they're coming up to a pit stop here. Car is hitting 232. Wrap in the backside of play. Coming into turn 3, 232. Fastest speed there. 233 actually currently tops on the board by Shane Coogan. Fastest lap is still Logan Paxa with a 40.834. Quinn and Powers are still the fastest cars currently on the track with both 41.1s. Neil Lusher also with a 40. Rob Powers in 5th gear. He is not making any effort to conserve here. Comes his teammate to the inside again. Side by side on the 1. Now this reminds me a lot of the first IndyCar race they had with the DW12, with the way that Dario Franchitti and Scott Dixon just kind of swapped that lead back and forth for much of the race. Guys giving each other room. Imagine they're on team comms. There is not a team championship here in the Sunset Arctic Formula Indy Series. There really aren't teams per se, but there are teams. No team championship. We'll keep an eye on the leaders here. We know we have a pit stop coming up here. Don't want to miss that, and we're going to go through the That is Brian Kennedy up in front of Liam Quinn now in lap traffic. Kennedy and Not So Special. First time I saw that car, I honestly thought that he had like a Shell oil livery. Then it's like, no, get closer inspection. He making way for the leader. Make their way to turn 2. Really where the action is, and here they come, both of them into the pits. Lap 36 coming to 37. We'll see who beats who, and then we'll pick up the leader. Your current leader through pit stop cycle is Dakota DeMed. Matt Houston, Bill Lusher, Shane Coogan, Paxa Bensi, Quinn is now falling down as the cars continue to move past them and make positions up on the racetrack. Bensi, Edwards, Casey, Flaum, and Fryer. Fryer has dropped back to 10. Down at the same time. Away at the same time. Now they're under power. Now they need to make sure they get out in front of Dakota. Here comes Dakota. Can they do it? I don't think they're going to be able to catch him. No, they're out well ahead of the leaders. But they need to get together to help each other out, because if they're going to be by themselves, that two-car train of Dakota and Matt is going to run them down. Get back to your leader. Dakota using the high line there. To the inside, here comes Matt Houston. In the 1. Matt Houston pulls off the pass. Defending Indy 250 champion from the TI Racing League. So basically, in a season's time, he is unbeaten here. looks like Matt Houston kind of pulling away a little bit. Got himself a half-second lead over Dakota DeMed. Looking low in the turn 4 there. Up high. Neil Lusher still holding on to P3. Let's go through the field. There's Dakota, P2. Taking a look on the inside of Matt Houston, going to the 1. Kind of a late pass, sticking the nose in there, pulls it off into the short chute. He's your new leader. Take a look at P3. Neil Lusher. Excellent run. Currently, and all these guys are getting pretty close to probably making their pit stops. They are coming up on 30 laps on this current stint. That's going to turn it over to Shane Coogan when they all pit. Shane Coogan, Coogan all the way back to Breyer, all pitted at lap 20. So Dakota and Houston and Lusher, they are all on the same strategy. And if we go green for the rest of the way, they are making that last stop right at lap 70. Now we got a lot of strategy playing. And here comes Houston. He is pitting. He is pitting at lap. Yellow, 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 yellow. Say Matthew Casey. Looks like it might have been Matthew Casey. He is coming down the backstretch. That Star Wars themed livery of his kind of clips the wall. I wonder. Let's take a look here in car, and did we possibly are or a wheel? Wow. I don't know. It looks like it might have been he lost a VR or lost a wheel or an equipment failure, and that's going to bring still under caution, obviously. And that happened right as Matt Houston came in pit. Now I don't know how advantageous that's going to be for him. So this is putting everybody who stops here and tops off. This is putting them right at lap 70 for their final stop. And that's going to set up an interesting finish. That this might not be a fuel mileage race. So we'll back up front, check out the leader. It is now cycled back. Ian Quinn. Now Brian Kennedy. Godso Mobile. We'll get the wave around. Make up one of his laps. You are watching, if you just joined us, the Sunset Arctic Formula Indy Series. This is the RIL Indy 400K from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As you can watch Brian Kennedy in the Godso Mobile make his way around. Gave me gold. I don't know. I'll take it. Tell you a little bit more about the Reddit IndyCar iRacing League. The Reddit IndyCar iRacing League was formed by active members of the IndyCar subreddit iRacing or subreddit to be the iRacing League for real-life IndyCar fans. The RIL has now expanded to 3 series based on level of, so whether you're a veteran or simply a diehard IndyCar fan who's just gotten into sim racing, will feel right at home in the Reddit IndyCar iRacing League. The premier series, which is the Schaefer Cup, will start next Wednesday night, and it's broadcast on YouTube by Raceverse. For details, check out rilracing.com. Going 1 to green. And as we getting ready to go back on, we got a little of time that we want to show you. That is a summer 2001 Schaefer Reddit IndyCar series schedule. It's a little bit different here. The Bristol race has been replaced by Dover, but they will start off next on the 2nd at Homestead for 126 laps. So join us for that action on Race First. That is going to be the IndyCars are great racing at Homestead. So here's Liam Quinn bringing the field down out of this caution period, coming up to the halfway point, 45 of 50 laps, or 45 of 100 laps, excuse me. Ready to start lap 6 here. Green, under the command of Liam Quinn, and he is on it. Green flag, we're back underway. Whoa! Power's getting high in the turn 2. All right, we got some help in the booth. Christian Jasper, who was unfortunately an early out in this race, sticking around, wants to lend a hand in the booth, so I will take an extra set of eyes at any time. Christian,
Hey.
how you doing? Good. You got your ears on? What happened in your little incident there?
Oh man, see, I don't want to say for sure, but from my point of view, it looked like Hill came down on me. Maybe getting a little bit too aggressive too early in the race, but it's a thing that happens. Yeah, like this setup was so good. It was so good. You can make it work in traffic. You can make it work on your own. Even if you lost the draft a little bit, if you wanted to sacrifice some of the tires, you could make it work. You can make it work.
Yeah, it looked like the high line was open. You can go low line. I mean, there seemed to be a lot of freedom on the race course.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we're under
Absolutely.
caution. It looks like I think maybe Zachary Flom was involved in this one.
So let me get everything loaded back in real quick.
Yeah, Zachary Flom was involved in this one. Go back in time a little bit. What happened here? Oh, okay. This is an incident, looks like, with Logan Paxa. This is in turn 1. Ooh. Wow. Okay, so he pushed right up into the wall. Let's reverse that a little bit more and get another. Oh. Yeah, Flaum just smacked the wall, and he had Logan with him. And actually, I think Logan might have got some damage as well.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. It's easy to do, especially when you're on the edge here, but that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it looks like Logan will be able to exercise that fast repair and top off the tanks, and that will get him to definitely inside of the lap 70. If he wants to stop at 70 to take him to the distance, he probably can make a real quick 20-lap sprint to this with all those other leaders, or trying to go a little bit deeper.
We actually don't have a fast repair on this race.
Oh, no fast repair in this race?
No fast repair in this race. That's actually why why it was out when I came in.
All right, so he is,
unless I missed it somehow, but
have an extended repair then.
Yeah.
So that puts both of the Kamagoya team cars they're down a lap, or Gavin back on the lead. Yeah, Sanders is back on the lead lap. He's managed to make his way around. Looks like he recovered from a black flag on a restart. Didn't really follow what happened there, but he had to do a stop and go, or not a stop and go, but just a stop penalty for 40 seconds, and looks like he made his lap back in the last couple cautions. Looks like we got in the back there Dakota Matt Houston, and Gavin Sanders are all stopping here one more time. Gavin looks like he a little bit farther too deep into his bay there, and he's going to cost him a little time, but they're under caution. Only cost them a little track position. Dakota manages to get out in front. Yeah, it's not going to really hurt anything. So this is definitely going to get them to lap 80.
If they're filled, they're good to the end. They're good to the end.
They go 50?
Hold on, you said on lap 80? Hold on.
Yeah, we're lap 50 of 100 right now. We're just at the halfway, so this will get them to lap 80, give or take.
Gotcha. Okay. I don't know why I thought you said they were on lap 80. That's my fault.
That's all right.
Okay. Yeah. If they did some serious fuel saving, they could. If they were going to make it to the end, they would need another caution and another tank of fuel, for sure.
So currently, your leader is Liam Quinn. He's on his 13th lap of this current stint, as well as his teammate Rob Powers. Behind him, Shane Coogan, Neil Lusher, Caleb Bency. Caleb started shotgun on the field because of his EOL penalty. He is up. He says he's down 3 spots because he qualified so high, but he had to do an EOL. So basically, effectively, up 19 spots actually, because he started 24th. Yeah. The big gainer is Neil Lusher. He is up 17. But Coogan, Lusher, Bency, Edwards, Odell, Fryer, they are all 6 laps into their current stint, and they are pretty much still on they should only need to do one more stop if we go all green. That should definitely get them to lap 70, magic number.
Mm-hmm.
Getting ready to go green, 1 to green now, and the field is still under command of the pace car. I didn't get to mention your livery. Of course, that's a Tasman Motorsports themed livery. Andre Ribeiro, that passed away this weekend. I don't think he ever made an Indy 500 start. He's probably one of the handful of drivers that I can think of, starting with Greg Moore, one of them, Mark Blundell, another. I'm sure there's Alex Zanardi, of course, that were driving during the split, and unfortunately just got caught up in events and things happened that just made it impossible for them not to race in an Indy 500. And those are probably some of the biggest names of open wheel that were racing at that time that never got a chance to do the 500. Trying to think who else.
Actually, hold on. He did take part in the 1995.
He was a 95 when he was a rookie, so good. He did get a chance to take part of the 500. So he was one of the few that only had that one and done start. So he only unfortunately had that one start. If you remember, in that 500 though, that's when his teammate blew the restart and ended the race to Jacques Villeneuve. Yeah, I'm sure Tasman was happy about that one.
Yeah. All right, looks like we are. Let's see, we going green on this lap?
They're going
Sounds like it.
This time by, they're taking that high position, defensive position up near the wall, because iRacing can't code it to allow us to pass anywhere else. field is under the command of Quinn. Green flag. It's Quinn, Powers, Coogan in the 1. We have a massive plume of smoke in the pits. Not sure what's going on there.
That looks like... Well, there was a car there. Hayden Herman.
Okay.
I guess he was already out. Looking pretty good so far. Dakota making a move on the inside of Jason Fryer. Fryer's not letting him have it.
We'll take a look at that fight back there, side by side. Also involved there is Matt Houston and Gavin Sanders. Logan is back, or Paxa is back there, and it says he's on the lead lap. I can't imagine he is handling two.
Can't be. Let's see. Right, back to the front. Rob Powers going on the inside of Quinn, taking the lead, going into 3, coming into 4.
Go down the high side around Fryer, pulls off the pass. Fryer's been taking a defensive line down the straights to the inside, forcing the cars to go around. I've seen about 4 cars all make a pass on the high side. He's definitely not making it easier for him, and if this was probably any other time, that high line's not working. But today, the high line is open for business, and he's been taken out to lunch there a couple times.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, Matt with the slide job in front of Fryer. He's like, take my aero wash. I want this position. Here comes Gavin to the inside. Ooh, he was not giving him an inch.
Pretty close.
Not giving him an inch.
Got to be careful doing that, especially only at the midpoint in the race. That can cause a lot of problems.
Gavin's going to recover. Back up to the front. Here's your leaders sneaking into the picture.
Looks like Powers and Quinn, looks like they're working together, swapping every so often when they can, trying to get that draft. Coogan not losing that draft, able to stick with him, but it doesn't look like he's able to catch up close enough to him to make a move.
Well, Coogan is 9 laps to the positive on current tank of gas, so these guys are going to have to pit. They're coming up on 18 laps on the stint. They did about 5 under caution, so they probably have another 10, 15 they can be out on the track, and then Coogan's probably another 20 or so that he could stay out on the track at the very least. So I don't know if Shane really needs to push it, or he can just stay behind these guys and get some fuel conservation, knowing that they have to pit.
Yeah, if what's really good about this, especially since you can run it in 2 lanes, you can knock it down a couple of notches on the fuel and still keep that straight line speed as long as you keep that draft. You really don't lose a lot of time, especially in cornering. The most important part is just being able to keep that draft, because if you lose it, even if you can bring it back up and use a little bit of tires, bumping it down into 5th, going into corners, still lose a little bit of time if you don't have that draft.
About a half second behind Powers in there. Well within the draft envelope. Draft envelope extends about a second and a half, give or take.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I was watching. I've been talking to the race lab lab apps guys, and talking about maybe doing other stats and stuff they can do on their overlays that they use more on IndyCar. And when I was down in pits down at the Speedway on Thursday, I took some pictures for him of some of the timings. One of the ones that I was wondering if he could use was the no-toe speed. The way that IndyCar determines the no-toe speed is if there's a car 7 seconds in front of you, that is, if they're within 7 seconds, then that you're catching some benefit of the toe. If they're exceeding 7 seconds, then you're running by yourself. I'm thinking 7 seconds is a long time. I don't know how you can extend the toe out 7 seconds, but here it's about a second and a half.
Sorry, Gary. Dakota DeMay making a move on the outside, and he gets it done coming out of 4, making that pass on Odell.
Yeah, he's found that the high side's definitely working.
Man, it can work. It can work if you make it. Again, you just gotta use up a little bit more tires, just a little bit. But on a fuel stent, the tires can make it enough. And Matt Houston going on the inside of Odell, making that work as well.
At Dakota, competed in all 3 or all 4 of the fixed E500 races not last weekend, but 2. Last weekend was the Open Series. I don't know very many people that participated, but I know a couple.
You said he took part in 4 of them.
4 of them on the fixed weekend. So he did the Friday, the 2 on Saturday, and the 1 on Sunday.
Holy cow!
Yeah. So needless
That's
to say,
2,000 miles.
and I think he finished all races but 1 on the lead lap, and I think he might have been 2 laps down on that one. So
Caleb Bency just moved up to 4th.
Yeah, Bency, and then Lusher taking a
on the inside.
big time defensive there.
He's definitely one to watch. I mean, you can't take your eyes off the 2-time RIL champion on this one.
A 2-time RIL champion, defending RIL champion right now, and currently still the defending TI Racing League champion, and he won their Indy 500 too. So he knows how to get around this place, and he is on the march.
Build that trophy case. He knows what Indy means. Looks like we're lining up pretty good back here.
Yeah, Lusher made a big time defensive, and I wouldn't really call it a block because he only made 1 move and he didn't react after that to Caleb, but Caleb decided that he was going to go lower.
You know, another one making his way through the field pretty well. Armando Edwards, he's P6, started 14th.
Yeah, very quietly. Very quietly.
He's making it work. Dakota's on the back of him, trying to make a move on him, but I got to give it to Armando. He's making this work. He's doing well. He's doing well. Like Al Unser Jr., you got to get those quiet points.
Every single one of them counts.
Absolutely.
Let's go back up to the front. They are now 26 laps into this stint as they continue to swap the lead back and forth. Rob Powers is back in the lead now. Haven't got let each other get very far, obviously working each other, but if they look in their rear view mirror, they're going to see Coogan, and look in the rear view mirror beyond that, here comes Caleb Bency, and even though, again, we don't have the Sunset Arctic Formula Indy Series, there are teams that have multiple drivers. There's not a team's championship, but believe me, they are working with one another to try to run these guys down, and it's going to be pretty soon it's going to be a team talent versus race first dogfight here, and we're coming into almost the closing quarter of the race here, about 10 laps from lap 75.
Going to be seeing some green flag pit stops pretty soon.
Yeah, for sure. You're looking at Powers and Quinn. I definitely inside of 10 laps for sure, probably less than that. Coogan just did lap 21 of his current stint, so he is probably about 8 or 9 laps, maybe a little bit more because we had some caution period there from getting hit. Hanging out still in 5th, Neil Lusher hanging tough.
He's making it work. He's making it work. Let's see if I could bring up some info on my end. I was going to say, it looks like everyone's running in a line, not losing the draft too much, but Lusher still seems like he's pretty far out, but I don't think that's exactly far enough to
let's go ahead and go through the field here. So current leader is Rob Powers. That's just leader on the racetrack. Liam Quinn is running him down here. Shane Coogan is P3. His corporate teammate Caleb Bensi for Neil Lusher is sitting there in P5. P6 is Armando Edwards. Right behind him is Dakota DeMed in the Tom Steven livery as he kind of rolls out of it in turn 4. Bossman Matt Houston in P8. Gavin Sanders holding tough in 9 after going lap down, so it's a good recovery for him. Jacob Odell, P10. And then we got a bit of a big I don't know what happened to Jason Fryer. Maybe he's damaged or something, but he is back there all by himself, about 11 seconds behind Odell as the last car in the lead lap. I don't know if he's under power or he is trying to make this mileage.
I'm gonna take a guess and say he's underpowered because it doesn't look like he's able to get out of 5th gear even on the straights. Because even when you're by yourself, you can get out of 5th and run into 6th. But his revs don't sound as high as they normally do. So he might have had a
last time by he did a 42.0. And that would have been a 214.845. So he's only 3 miles per hour or so lower. So I don't know what's going on there. We'll just keep an eye on him.
He's got to manage at that point. Just got to manage.
But he is well out of the draft. But the top 10 are all, if we go back to Odell, here's Odell. Odell is a half second behind Gavin Sanders, so they're all within range of each other. Gavin Sanders making a move here. Might be on, that's lap traffic, sorry. Well, now we got a bit of a 4-car breakaway with the team talent cars now. Pretty much have been together all race long. I was telling people at home, this kind of really reminds me of that first DW12 race they had, where the Target Chip Ganassi cars all race long just kind of swapped the lead back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they were just at the end. There was just them two, and Takuma snuck in there at the end, but I remember that there was really no one else had anything for him as he just kept swapping that lead back and forth. Currently, your fastest lap. Here they come. Here come the leaders. Sorry, your leaders are on pit road. Also coming in is Matt Houston. Matt Houston is also coming in pit road.
Oh, man. Okay. So let's see. How many laps did you say Shane Coogan had compared to the leaders at the same
He is now 27 on the current stint. I tell you what.
If a yellow comes out now. Oh, my goodness.
So Matt Houston is subscribing to what we call the Groot strategy. No matter what Indy 500 race you're in, 30 laps from the end, you pit, whether you need to or not. That is the Groot strategy, and it worked for me in my fixed race, and it's going to probably work for these guys as they all pitted on lap 70.
It's a sound strategy.
And here comes
it's a sound strategy.
Here comes
guarantees you to go to the end.
Yeah, and here comes Dakota, and here comes Gavin. So both of those guys pitting on 71. So this is definitely guaranteed making it to the end. They're going 1+, as well as Caleb Bensi. He is also in the pits. Shane Coogan is now your leader. He is by himself. Nobody to draft around, so he's going to be...
Neil Lusher pulling in now.
So he's just going to be doing laps of... he's just going to be doing 41.3s, 41.2, 41... He has a 2-second lead on Armando Edwards now as a P2. as pit stops continue to cycle. So we have Coogan, Edwards, and Fryer now are the cars that have not pitted. So starting on lap, these are now 29 or more laps into their stint. And it's Coogan, Edwards, Fryer, Lusher, and Odell. Lusher and Odell on pit road. Coogan is now on pit road. And it looks like Armando Edwards is going to go one more lap longer than everybody.
Man, this is going to be close.
Jason Fryer is still on the track. Did not pit.
All right, and Shane Coogan is coming out of the pits.
Armando Edwards continuing to make laps, going on 31 of this current stint. And he is in the draft of Odell. This is just helping him.
He's going to go to the absolute bitter end of his stint. So
yeah, he's going to, and there's a yellow. There's a caution. There is a caution. I'm not quite sure what happened.
Let's see. It looks like Jason Fryer. Oh, man. Fryer getting loose coming out of 4.
Okay.
It's the inside and the outside wall.
Went a little bit one too much farther, or he might have had damage, and it finally, with the way the tires are, just loosened up. Could also be that he maybe was coming in and got out of the power. Ooh, and got out of the power, and that's enough to loosen up the car. Kennedy dodging a bullet there. So that is one of your leaders. He is unfortunately in the pits, probably done for the day. We are under caution as we back to live television. As Armando Edwards is trying to work his way around this track slowly, he got to be low on fumes right now.
He's got to be running on fumes. I wouldn't believe it otherwise. He's got to be on fumes.
So when he pits, this is going to give the lead to Bency. So through the cycling, Bency managed to get ahead of Quinn and Powers. Pace car is in for short shoot. And its way through turn 4. Probably make his pit stop, and that will put Brian Kennedy back behind the pace car and give Kennedy a chance to get a couple laps back, or at least a lap back. He is down 5 on the field now. Armando Edwards into the pits. Yeah, he is good to go here. He might be slightly lighter than the rest of the guys around him on fuel. Will have slightly newer tires, but unfortunately he's going to cycle all the way back to not too far down. He's going to go cycle to P10, but there'll still be a couple lapped cars in between, so he'll need to get by them pretty quickly and make as much hay as he can in a short period of time before the goodness of those tires wear off. So he's down and away on pit road. Will pull out behind Jacob Odell, and I think we should 10th place. 10 cars on the lead lap. So back up to the front, the man that started shotgun on the field is Caleb Bency, current points leader. Again, let's remind you of the current point situation. Caleb Bency is points leader. Andrew Wood is not in today's race. That's giving a shot to Gavin Sanders to possibly move up in the P championship. Christopher Hill is in P4. Had that incident with you earlier today. That's going to cost him in the championship. Matt Houston still on the racetrack. He'll move up into probably 4th spot at the very least. Matt Houston, Logan Paxa is also still on the racetrack, I believe. He is currently retired, unfortunately. So he is probably not going to move up, but Liam Quinn will, Dakota DeMed will, and Brian Kennedy, just by kind of circulating here, keep it going, man. Get those, as we said, the Allen or Junior points. Keep it going, and every little point counts, and he's out there trying to collect every little one he can because he's into the championship. Still halfway through the season, and plenty of time to maybe get to that top 5, and like I said, every point counts.
Every single one does, even if you're back in the back. Matt Houston with a fake out?
And before we go green, if you're just joining us right now, this is the race-verse coverage of the Sunset Arctic Formula Indy Series, the RIL Indy 400K. The Reddit IndyCar iRacing League was formed by active members of the IndyCar subreddit to be the iRacing League for real-life IndyCar fans. The RIL has now expanded to series based on the level of experience, so whether you're a veteran or simply a diehard IndyCar fan, gotten into sim racing, you'll be right at home in the Reddit IndyCar iRacing League. The series premieres next Wednesday night, and is broadcast on YouTube by Raceverse. It'll probably be Matt Houston. As a little bit later, as my commitment's lit up, I will be able to join him in the booth. And if everything interests you in the Reddit IndyCar League, feel free to check them out at RIL Racing. That's RILRacing.com. We're now coming to green. Come to green starting lap 79. Provided nothing happens, a sprint to the finish. There's 11 cars currently on the track. Will not be a lot of traffic, but those that are needing to be in direct contact with each other are in direct contact with each other, so they're going to be pushing rather hard to make up these spots. Everybody's pretty much on fresh tires. Everyone's pitted within a lap or so of each other, so there should be no on fuel. Everyone's good to go to the distance at this point.
Man, oh man, this is going to be a close scrap. I don't even know what to expect on this one, especially with just 20 laps to go. These laps go by quick. And these guys know that.
Caleb has the control of the field. He is now under power. Pace car is in the pits. Green flag, lap 79, 21 to go. Caleb through one into the south chute, into turn 2, right in front of the hospitality suite. Getting a run on him is Liam Quinn. Liam Quinn is going to get right up on that gearbox, duck to the inside. Caleb says, no, a little bit too early to defend. I'm not going to worry about it. But going back to 4th place, Shane Coogan on the underside of Powers, pulls it off, follows his teammate through, goes up in front of Powers, gives him whitewash slide job. And he is now protecting the backside of his teammate, Caleb Benzie, as they go through turn 4 down the front straight. We now have 20 laps to go, as this restart has been pretty exciting.
I tell you, I was following Coogan when he made that move. It looked like there was a little bit of contact between Powers and Coogan. I couldn't tell you how he kept it going, but that's why they're at the front. They know how to make this work. See how we're doing then.
Keep an eye on the leader. Benzie on the inside, going into 3. Quinn's going to go defensive on the high side, but lets him have it. He completes the pass into 4, down the main straight. Again, no defensive moves. Quinn's going to suck right up onto that gearbox, pull down, take the pass in turn 1, pulls it off, no problem. So again, Benzie's showing a lot of patience here. He is also sitting pretty comfortably with a teammate sitting there in P3, but as these laps wrap down, he becomes less of a teammate and more of a competitor. To the inside in turn 3, taking a look, he's going to pull this pass off. Benzie pulls off the pass and is back as your leader now, going into the short chute.
Done.
I tell you what, if Coogan can just get up to the back end of Quinn, it's probably going to allow Benzie to kind of run away because he'll have to go defensive on Coogan. But Coogan, let's take a look at his particular line. He's running a tad higher than the other guys. He's not. They're right on the white line. He's just off the white line. Now he's below the white line there. Not using that high line.
Looks like he's trying to stay on the outside just enough to get that air on the right side of the car so he can keep it planted.
Someone using the high line, go back to 5th place. Gavin Sanders is now on the backside of Rob Powers.
Man, he has caught him so quick on this restart.
Powers has gone defensive. He must have a spotter, or at least he's noticed that Sanders is going up high. Went up high into turn 2, getting a good run down the backstretch on Vincey. Probably going to try to pull off a slingshot in the. And he does. Coming the lap.
Doing the trade-off that he was doing with his teammate earlier.
Yep.
This is a little bit less camaraderie on those switches, though.
Starting 84. Ooh, side by side. This time Quinn goes defensive in turn 1. Vincey does not pull it off, but Vincey way down underneath the white line has a very shallow entry, and that means he's going to have a high and early exit. He has to roll out of it. Still in the draft. He's going to pull to the inside, going into 3.
He's going to make it work this time.
He's going to make it work, but again, Quinn still staying defensive up high. There you go. Have my arrow wash. Quinn staying high. Here comes Shane Coogan.
Catching him every single bit. With every swap that they do, Coogan is just right there. It's giving him every... Ooh, he's getting a run.
Yeah, Coogan of the 3 was faster. He had a 41.3 versus a 41.5 of the 2 meters. So he is slowly reeling them in. Rob Powers getting up high on the exit of turn 2.
Saved just enough. That's given Gavin Sanders giving him a run. Takes a look on the inside. Is he going to make it work? He almost does. Rob Powers keeps it on the outside, keeps it in, doesn't let it happen.
Battle for 5th place right now. They swap the lead again in turn 1. Gavin still staying well above the group. Turn 1, the high line. Making up ground big time on Powers. Exited. Ooh, Gavin washes up almost into the wall a little bit.
Got to be careful, especially in the closing laps. You gotta really know when to pick your moves, and that's when you really got to pay extra close attention on where you're going to place your car and how you're going to make your move, and really got to set it up. As
Sanders is there. Sanders taking a look on the inside. Sanders taking a look at the inside, going into 2 through the short. Shoot! Almost touches with the right front.
Really close.
And that's really close. Yeah, that was real close. And that's going to allow Matt Houston all of a sudden get into this battle.
All these battles going on with these top runners, it's given Dakota DeMay back here in 7th. He's starting to catch Matt Houston. And Armando Edwards just having the best seat in the house on all of it. He's not really losing the draft, but he looks like he's picking his move.
Powers with a bit of a gap over at Gavin Sanders. A little bit further up, and watch Shane Coogan is trying to run down these 2 meters. And he's kind of in one of those positions. Who do I follow? Do I follow my team? Do I possibly... either way, he's in a draft envelope, but either way, he's also coming into the turns between the wash of 2 cars.
Coogan is going to get a really good run on this because P1 and 2 were side by side through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of wash, though, between these 2 cars in front of him. Wind starts to pull away a little bit. Now we're going defensive.
There's the snake.
Sanders is back to Powers now. Coming to 10 to go. Sanders that time through the speed trap at the back of turn, or excuse me, the backstretch, 2:33 trap.
We are at 10 to go.
Sanders inside of Powers going through 2, side by side down the backstretch. Powers is probably going to have a whiff of the draft from. What's going on? Gavin's tucks back in. He had Matt Houston there. I thought Matt was going to fill the hole, but he doesn't. Side by side into turn 3. Powers pulls ahead in the short chute, pulls ahead in 4. Sanders going to have to line up one more time behind him, try to get another run. This time I think he has a run. Powers does not concede. Powers does not concede.
It's like that second lane, one and a half, lane 1.5 to 2. That's really where you want to put your car when you're on.
Caleb Bency gets the lead back from Quinn. He did not do the snake down the backstretch, but he definitely has the offensive position at the moment. Quinn right behind him, slipstream, pulls out, side by side at the yard of bricks. Quinn barely. So if they have to do this for the next 10 laps, 9 laps, Quinn knows that he can pull out coming out of 4, and he'll have the nose edge right at the start-finish line.
You know, a couple laps ago, they were catching up to 53 of Fryer. I figured he was going to be a factor, but as soon as they started catching up to him, it looks like he went into the pit. So I don't think traffic is going to be a factor on these last few laps.
Caleb sending it in the 1. Whoa, there he goes. I didn't think he was going to pull out and pass. He just all of a sudden pulls out and passes at the exit of, or the entrance of 1 and sends it in. Caleb, 5th gear, pedaling it for all he's worth. Caleb, no stranger to late race heroics. 2 seasons ago in the TI Racing League, came from 3rd to 1st, led only 1 lap. That was a lap at the end.
That's the only one you need.
Oh, side by side, almost again. Right rear to left front contact between Quinn and Bency, side by side.
Caleb wants to lead that last lap.
Gavin Sanders, the inside of Powers. Trying it again. Time is running out. Sanders hopes to get up into that lead group. Get by Powers. I think if he gets by him, he'll catch right up. But Powers, and that's Gavin smacks the wall a little bit. There it is. No. There it is. And we are going yellow. Gonna go yellow? No, we're not going yellow.
If we don't.
Nope, we are not going yellow. And that is the race for Gavin Sanders.
That is very unfortunate. He had a really good run coming up on him too.
Now I think your battle is right here. We're going to stick with the leaders, Bency and Quinn.
Shuffled up a little bit in the back as well. Edwards got ahead of DeMade for P6. That gives me
Quinn, big time, high line. Bency went to defend. He pushed up high. Quinn went higher. He was up in a part of the track that we have seen nobody racing all day long.
Oh, man.
That was all in turn 2 there. But that move is not going to allow, at least I don't think so right now, that's not going to allow Quinn get the draft to get right back up to the gearbox, because this is going to allow Caleb to win this lap right here straight up. Caleb to the inside, defending the inside. Him to the outside, trying to make the outside work. Right there on the gearbox. The outside.
Be real careful with that.
The outside in turn 2. When you run that outside line, you're going to be a bit faster. Here we go. We're starting with the weave. He's got his one move there. Can't move again because it's going to be blocking. Turn 3, side by side. Caleb fights for it.
Just work going in 4.
Went a little bit higher than he needed to be on turn 4, but I think he might have went high to try to get an over-under. Here he goes. Inside. Gets the pass. To go. And in front of him, they have Jason Fryer.
See,
oh,
down to Fryer, getting that draft.
Tries to get the draft off Fryer. Lining him up down the front stretch.
Got the draft. I don't know if he has it. He's going to send it.
5 more miles.
He doesn't send it.
Turn 3. The action speaks for itself. Caleb washes high. He is down low into turn 3, trying to get underneath a little bit, trying to get that extra clean air. He's going to get the draft. He's going to get the draft. White flag.
Takes him on the inside coming into turn 1. But can he hold it for the rest of this lap? That's going to be the question. Looks like
there he goes. He starts to weave. The inside, now to the outside. The inside again, back to the outside, trying not to scrub off too much speed. Turn 3, that might have just won it. We'll see. We get to see Sam Hornish. We'll see, going up high to block that road, and I don't think he's going to get him. Caleb Bency is going to win.
There it is.
Caleb Bency is going to win your RIL Indianapolis 400K.
Coogan almost stealing P2.
I know
from Liam Quinn.
The camera director was wanting to go there, and I'm like, no. No, but it was a clear victory for Bency there, but the camera wanted to go see that Quinn and Coogan situation. But Caleb Bency, your winner, woo, as in the cool down lap here.
Was some nice driving. Good piece of driving.
As we watch Victory Donuts, a look at the final results here from the RIL Indianapolis 400K. Your winner, Caleb Bency. P2 is Liam Quinn. Dane Coogan, right there at the line. P3. So Rob Powers holds off a determined charge from Gavin Sanders. Manages to hold on to P4 after swapping the lead all day long with his teammate Liam Quinn. Matt Houston, P5. Armando Edwards, P6. Dakota DeMitt is P7. Jacob Odell holds on for P8. Neil Lusher with a nice run, P9. And Brian Kennedy survives at P10. Gavin Sanders, unfortunately, P11. Jason Fryer, P12. Logan Paxa, P13. Zachary Flaum, P14. And Matthew Casey makes up your top. For top 20 is Zachary Nurnberger, Hayden Herman, Christopher Hill, Christopher Crespi, and you, Christian Jasper, P20. And your top 24 is Brandon Dunn, Cody Claiborne, Aaron Tribble, and Hayden Robinette. let's head to that. We want to know that the purple lap, fastest lap of the race was Logan Paxa, the 40.83. Nobody in the white yet, except the winner. The rest of our while we'll wait just one more time, if you just joined us, you just missed a heck of a finish here on the Sunset Arctic Formula Indy RIL Indy 400K. Waiting room. Reddit IndyCar iRacing League was formed by active members of the IndyCar subreddit to be the iRacing League for real-life IndyCar fans. The RIL has now expanded based on level of experience. So whether you're a veteran or diehard IndyCar fan who just got into sim racing, you will be right at home in the Reddit IndyCar iRacing League. The series premiere series, and it also premieres next Wednesday night, and is broadcast on RaceVerse here on YouTube at RaceVerse. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Matt Houston will be your host for the first couple of races, and I will join him in the Indianapolis race of all places. That'll be cool. For more details, check out rilracing.com. Also, starting on Thursday nights will be the primary feeder series, Reddit IndyCar Premier League, and that is the Turbo Cup, and that is the Daredevil Turbo Cup, Daredevil Brewery, and they are a PM18 that runs and road courses. So let's take a look and let's get Shane Coogan.
Really caught him out.
Shane Coogan, sorry to abruptly pull you into the booth, but so close there at the end. You were running them down. Looks like you're biding your time.
Yeah.
Tell us about everything, especially leading up to the end, but certainly tell us about your day, because it just little strategy right there got you up there with the leaders in that last stint.
Yeah, it was a solid run. Can't complain. You know, it's always good run at Indy. So, yeah, solid race overall. We'll take third. I think probably could have qualified a little bit better, and then probably could have gone in, worked on the in lap a little bit better. But overall, not bad. Just kind of tried to stay patient and let things come to us. And yeah, it was a good little battle there at the end. I was trying to make something happen, but just needed a little bit more. It was those guys were racing pretty hard up there, and hats off to Caleb for taking the win. So yeah, it's a good one for Team RaceVerse for sure.
So it's just mainly an issue with the aero push, just not allowing you to get kind of close enough. You were in the draft, but just not close enough to kind of capitalize on it anymore.
Yeah, it's a tough one, especially when the two leaders are using, the full racetrack, both lines,
Yeah.
all the air. It's pretty dodgy. I could have sent it, a couple times, but didn't want to try to, compromise Caleb's race. So I think I managed to get one spot on the restart, and that's almost about all the tires have is like one or two moves if you're behind people. If you're up front, it's definitely a dogfight. But yeah, good run overall. We'll take third and keep going here. It's good to have a good showing on the oval, the only oval in this series.
So your first podium of the year. I think we got a week off, and I think we're headed schedule while we're talking about it. We're headed to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, or Villeneuve, whatever you want to. If you want to sound like Paul Page, is
right.
Villeneuve, and if you want to say it right, is Villeneuve. But headed there next after a week off, and then the Formula One themed race at Spa, followed by Watkins. Anybody you'd like to shout out to while we got you here?
Yeah, for sure. It's appreciate Matt and Dakota putting this series together. Formula Indy Series is really a cool spin. Doing like standing starts and going to some traditional F1 venues is something different and pretty cool. Something I need to work on for sure. Standing starts and all that stuff is pretty interesting. But yeah, good challenge and a cool series. So shout out to the teammates, Matt and Dakota, Caleb as well for taking the W. Yeah, shout out to my brother Tyler. Hopefully he'll be able to join us next time. And then shout out to my buddy Andy too. This podium's for him. And then of course mom and dad, any friends watching, And thanks, Gary, for doing the broadcast too. Appreciate it.
We try, but thanks for that, and congratulations, P3 here at Indianapolis. Enjoy your week off, enjoy your Memorial Day, enjoy watching the real race on TV. Congratulations.
Oh, we will. Thanks, and you guys enjoy as well.
Right. I do not. But we'll go ahead and.
All right.
Caleb, your monkey is off back. How do you feel?
Oh, that was one of the best feeling wins I've had in a long time.
So I imagine you feel a little lighter now, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was something. That I don't think I could have asked for a better race.
Well, I'm not going to ask any questions here. Just tell us. You had to give up the position because of the EOL.
Yeah.
And just take it from there. Just it's all yours.
Yeah, truthfully, I'm still not very happy about that. But yeah, just settled in. I knew there'd be some iffy driving at the start, so try to play it cautious. Was always looking 10 cars down, just looking for something, and made it through some of those. And from there, just started to pick my way through the field as much as I could. And obviously, it got really hard to pass once it kind of got settled in a little bit, because then you just get those gaps where it's hard. But I was able to still make a few passes despite that. And yeah, a couple of odd timing cautions, but eventually got past Neil on some late dive, and that really is what set me up to catch those top four. And then just trying to stick with them. It was just so tough to stay with there. But eventually, with that final pit stop, had a little extra fuel because I pitted later than the top two. Absolutely nailed the pit entry, nailed pit box. Had to take less fuel, or got to take less fuel, and then was able to jump out in front of them. Caution came out, which I think would have been fine either which way. But yeah, and then from there, that was the most I've ever wheeled a car on an oval. I like I was telling Matt and Dakota in the lobby there. I don't even think I was turning left into turn 2 and 4. I had the thing so loose and yawed out, but it's how I like to drive it here, honestly. So, and it paid off. So strategy worked there at the end. I knew if I got him, and he was running a bit of a higher line, which I'm not necessarily a fan of, just because I mean, if it's fast, it's fast, but it's not really Indy. But so I knew if I got past him into turn 1 and then took the high line away from him, gave him dirty air, all of our tires were wearing down a little bit, then hopefully I'd be good to go, and it somehow worked out.
So I like to give my historical spin on this stuff.
Yeah.
So not technically worst. No one has ever won from 33rd in Indianapolis history. A couple have come close. Scott Goodyear comes to mind. Tom Sneem almost did. Actually, for a period of about 4 or 5 months, Mario Andretti actually did it until they gave the race back to Bobby Unser in '81. But really, the most recent that I can really think of worst to first was 15, where Juan Montoya got caught up in an accident. I think because of Danica Patrick, and it lost a portion of his bodywork, and he had to go back into the pits to get that bodywork replaced. So it was very early in the race, and so he had to start basically from, at the time, I believe it was 33rd race. So effectively did about the same thing. Granted, 100 laps less, and not necessarily a 33 car field, but still had to put the effort in to pass those cars. So it doesn't happen very often. But it does happen, and so there is your historical spin and aspect on it. So congratulations. Anybody you'd like to shout out to while we have you up here? Also, it looks like you're also going to be the points leader again still, so that's great for you going into the off and then going up to Montreal after that. But anybody shout out to, say hi to while you got you here, because you are the champ, so take all the time you need.
Yeah, thanks. Obviously, thank Race First, Sunset Arctic Games, Fun and Fanny. Go check them all out. Great products as usual. And yeah, and then family and friends. I know quite a bit were watching. Already got a few texts. So definitely thanks to all you guys for watching. It was definitely definitely worth the wait. I feel like to watch that finish, but yeah, just happy. I feel like that was as good as that race could have went. Just strategy wise, patience wise, mixing patience and aggression, and yeah, just thankful that all ended up the way it did. That was definitely all came full circle there. It was
Okay,
a pretty good feeling win.
so what you need to do here is when we're done, kitchen, pour yourself a glass of milk, take a picture of yourself drinking it, and make sure you put it on the FIS Discord.
Uh, might have to do that.
You have to do that. Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't do anything like orange juice or anything different
No,
like
no,
Fittipaldi
no.
did. Yeah,
No.
do some milk. Hey, I understand that chocolate milk is one of the things that is a choice that you can actually drink in Victory Lane.
I saw JPM had that requested.
So if you wanna make it chocolate milk, man, go right ahead. I guess it's a thing, but definitely you got to have some milk tonight, and you got to take a picture of yourself drinking it so we can all see you reveling in your win. So congratulations. Have a great holiday. Have a great week off, and we will be at Montreal.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
And back into the waiting room goes. So once again, let's go over the final standings before we wrap it up, and we'll do a couple commercials here to make sure that the people that need to pay the bills pay the bills. But your winners, Caleb Bency, not too far behind was Liam Quinn in P2, and really not too far behind was Shane Coogan behind him in P3. That's your podium. Your top 5 is Rob Powers and Matt Houston. Your top 10 is Armando Edwards, Dakota DeMed, Jacob Odell, Neil Lusher, and Brian Kennedy. Your top 15, Gavin Sanders, Jason Fryer, Logan Paxa, Zachary Flaum, and Matthew Casey. For top 20, Zachary Nuremberger, Hayden Herman, Christopher Hill, Christopher Kresge, Christian Jasper. And your top 24 is Brandon Dunn, Cody Claiborne, Aaron Tribble, and Hayden Robinette. Before we let you go, Christian, thanks for joining us. Anything that you want to give a shout out to, or just anything, the outlook of the season, or whatever, you got the mic, go ahead.
I appreciate you having me up here, Gary. It's always fun being able to do something like this. I want to thank RaceVerse for broadcasting this for the Formula Indy Series. Huge thanks to Sunset Arctic for sponsoring the series. Huge thanks to the RIL as well for sponsoring tonight's race. And I guess personal sponsor, Rosh's Way Bakery. If you're ever in Nashville, hit them up. They've got great pies. Yeah, just huge thanks all around. It's a great series to be a part of. I think we got a week off, and then we're back at Montreal at the next race.
Yep.
And that one's going to be a fun one. That's it's always a deceptively fast track.
And the concrete canyons might actually get a full course yellow. We'll see.
I would honestly like to see that happen. If it does, then at that point we can say, hey, we actually had to have it.
See, I think Formula One has had a couple there. That seems to be one of the regular places, because the cars kind of bounce off the wall, and then in the traffic and take out other cars, and then it becomes a carbon fiber minefield. So, but thanks for joining, and we catch you in Montreal.
Yes, sir.
Right. And while we do that, let's make sure that we pay some bills. Check out this ad from Volta Pistol from Sunset Arctic. Right back. All right, and a word from Kenny.
Fawn & Fanny is an interactive specialty retailer of bath, body, and skincare products. And what we do is we DIY and customize bath, body, and skincare products. You can make hand sanitizer and hair gel and shampoo and conditioner and body lotions and body soaps and body butters and scrubs and even pet products. We have a very nice guys selection as well. The logo was designed just specifically for them, and the bottles were selected for them, and the scents. Our products are stripped down of all the unnecessary chemicals, and you can bring that product up however you're comfortable with it.
Well, there you have it. Thanks for joining us here. Part of the Sunset Arctic Formula in RIL Indianapolis. Okay, if you like what you saw, make sure to search out the Formula Indy on iRacing and apply to join the league. Also, Discord server so you can network with others and other drivers of the. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe Raceverse here on YouTube, as well as check us out on Twitter and Facebook. And make sure that check us out for future races coming up here in the Formula Indy Reddit IndyCar League and the Daredevil Turbos. Well, and also the American Sim Racing Club Frito-Lay Super Late Model Series as they resume this week at with a throwback race at North Wilkesboro. So I'm Gary, and that will do it. I want to thank Christian Jasper for joining the booth. It's always a good time to get Indy and to call an Indy race. And I can't think of any better way to go out with Delta Force. It won't be long, though. We'll cut off. No copyright. No copyright. Thanks for joining us, folks. Have a good night. We'll see you in 2 weeks in Montreal.